Live from the box. It's live from the box.
Now, Slim,
Yes, sir.
I'm really, really ready to get into this conversation with the guy in the big chair, man.
Come on, man.
It's interesting. You know, he's a native.
Yep.
You know, everybody thinks that people that's important in this town come from somewhere else.
Nah.
When it's not true.
Man.
He's a Ballsville native.
It's even sweeter when they go and they come back, right? And
Exactly.
they make it happen.
But without further ado,
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Nice to be here.
What's going on, man?
Not too much.
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Baker, writer for the Syracuse.com and the Post Standard. I said the Syracuse, but you know.
The Syracuse.com,
Right.
Syracuse.com.
The Syracuse.com.
Yeah.
It amazes me how their Facebook page is Syracuse.com.
How about that?
I mean, things that you can do when you're important, right? Can I be the JamesAustin.com?
When you get to that level,
When I
you
get to that
certainly
level?
can. Hey, we keep messing with Chris here, man. We get there.
Hey, let's not forget though. We might have to talk about a couple of these awards that he's won.
Oh, yeah.
See, he's so humble.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your humble beginnings. You know, we don't give us a full bio.
Yeah.
You know, I had this, pad I used to write on. No. Where did it begin, man?
Where did it? Let's see. I wrote for this music website, I don't know, 7-8 years ago called Jam Bands Online, just as a hobby. Was selling insurance and absolutely hated it. So I went back to school, got a degree from SU in arts journalism, maybe 2012, so about 3 years ago now.
Okay.
And then I've kind of bounced around since then, went to the Syracuse New Times, worked in Rochester, worked in South Carolina, and landed this gig here, I don't know, 2.5 years ago or so.
Nice.
Been doing it ever since.
Nice.
Yeah.
Writer's cramp all day, huh?
Yeah, for the most part.
But you
It's,
gotta love it though, Slim.
Oh yeah, you have to, especially when your focus is music, right? So, and I mean that's part of the reason why the man is here, right? This is what we do, music. So, good job, T.
Well,
do
there's
it.
the subject we were talking about, I did a story on you guys a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it's easy when you've got cool stuff going on. Like, it's easy to write about when you've got people doing interesting things, people doing cool stuff. So it's just telling your story. Like, you guys are doing something cool, and I get to write about it. So that's what I like about it.
So getting into this, I'm going to push the rewind button just a little bit. You said it was jamband.com.
Jam Bands Online. It was like a startup
Okay.
for, like, Fish bands, Grateful Dead, kind of trippy music.
Yeah.
And I'd just go to concerts and write reviews about them for free. I wasn't getting paid. It was just this site that someone had, and I kind of realized that I liked doing it and wanted to figure out how to make a living doing it.
Yeah.
So I went back to school for it, and here I am.
So you trying to figure out how to do it. Who'd you talk to? Did you have like a mentor, Chris? You know, because I always love the story behind the story.
Behind the story.
You know how you get, because when I hear somebody that says, they made it happen, right? I mean, that's what this entertainment industry is. You got to do work for free, and you have to find a way to connect A and B, and you just do it.
Sure.
So how did you,
Well, I being at SU opened a ton of doors.
Okay.
But more than anything, so my first actual writing gig ever was at the Syracuse New Times.
Nice.
And former editor there, a woman named Molly English, gave me a chance. She had a story that she needed somebody to write, so she called me and said, "Hey, try this story out.
Here's your chance."
And that was it. Yeah. And then she gave me another one and another one and another one, and eventually it turned into a job. And it was just, worked with me a ton. She was fantastic. Jess Novak was there, and she was great. And I got to kind of watch what she was doing and realized, I want to do that. I want to do what she does. So she would let me, when I first came back here and was working at the Post Standard, I would tag along with her wherever she went. She would go to a show, she'd go to Dinosaur, and I would be like, "Hey, can I come hang out? Can I come to your open mic? Can I come to whatever?" And she was great. She kind of like showed me the ropes around here.
Nice.
And it was cool to have that someone to kind of watch out for and see what she was doing and kind of
Show you the ropes.
yeah, exactly.
So when it's time for him to take the reign, everybody knows you. Like, yeah, didn't I see you? You were Jess, right? Get ready to take over the reins. Now everybody knows you're the new kid on the scene, but everybody knows you. I like that.
One reoccurring theme, I think, that everybody that sat in this chair is relationships. And the right relationship in your life, you make that right connection, and boom, there it goes. It's just level after level, step after step.
Absolutely. And that's what's cool about this town is it's a small enough town that you can meet everyone, and there's a ton of connections that you can make, and people are willing to help you. Like Jess is technically my competitor now, but we hang out, we work together all the time, and it's you keep those relationships.
But doesn't it make for better stories, better content? When you're familiar with your competitor, it's like, listen, I know what she can do. Let me make sure that I cross this T and dot this I and put this extra little something in there.
Yeah, and I don't even think we look at it like competitors. Like, our newspapers are like competitors, I guess. But I've never looked at it like that. Like, I would be competing against someone. We're all just part of the same group of
competition isn't bad
people
though.
in Syracuse music.
Because this is why I say competition isn't bad, right? We have a show. We play all local music. Now, as we get more and more artists want to send their music in, it increases the quality of the music.
Sure.
So competition isn't bad.
Oh, competition's great.
It's not a bad
It's
thing.
fantastic.
I would talk NBA Finals right now, but this is music.
This is music.
This is
man.
music.
Yeah.
So, Chris, we're writing about music. We're interviewing people. Give me a quick story. A real quick story that you're like, I really just interviewed this person doing this.
I'm trying. I mean, there's so many. There's this woman I wrote about last year named Marge, little woman who anybody who's out of concerts frequently has probably seen her. She's just dancing all the time. And I spent, over the course of 3 weeks, I spent 4 or 5 days with her. She's in her upper 80s somewhere.
Oh, wow.
And she's out at Shifty's every night, Dinosaur every night, sitting, hanging out. And then she's dancing, and she's up hanging out with everybody, and everybody knows her, and she's singing. She sings at open mic. And it was so cool. Like, I've gotten an interview huge in it. Like, I've gotten an interview Alice Cooper. I talked to Marlon Wayans a few weeks ago. Kev Moe, the blues guitarist. I talked to him the morning B.B. King died. But it was so inspirational to sit and just hang out with her for a couple days and get to hear her life story, and that kind of stuff. Like, I do a lot of these kind of phone interviews where it's, hey, publicist tells you you've got 20 minutes with so-and-so, and they're fielding questions that I'm one of 10 different people they're talking to in a row, one after the other. So those get kind of, you can pull some stuff out, but you can tell sometimes the guy or whoever, the woman, is just exhausted with it and kind of tired with it. But when you get to hear local people and their real stories and really interesting stuff they're doing, to me that means a lot more.
Well, we're going to get into some more of this local stuff. I'm glad you touched on that, because that's the reason. That's where we really want to go with you, because you have the behind the scenes for everything. But we always break up our interviews with a song. So right now, Slim, what do we got?
Someone that he mentioned earlier. Great segue, Chris. Going into the Golden Novak Band.
Rat-a-tat-tat.
Right here on Live from the Box, 87.7.
Fifi Entertainment.